in the background. Launches it to the range. Oh, it's good. 37 for Brown Coffee to the rim. Offline. Rebound Allen. Did I get up? 9 to shoot. And the three. Small player.
With the 10th pick in the 2010 NBA draft, Paul George of Fresno State University.
And a half. He's improved as a finisher. He's improved as a free throw. Here's Rose. George gets back defensively.
Run again, 3-on-2. Rose. He is stopped. George at the rim jumps straight up, uses that length to block the shot, and then watch the kick from Rose.
Got 10 points in the period, 16 already for the game. Wade, little step back jump shot for Wade. He's got 22 here in the first half. Wade,
It starts with the split of the pick. Bring the game to them.
so much harder to stop him than Wade again. Wade, something they have not been very successful on with this man. Wade to the basket, count it, and a foul.
Or the size of Hibbert can affect the shot, and then the split, the strength
Rebounds.
and they took Hibbert out to get better defense.
But they emerge victorious once again, and the Miami Heat going back to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Heat 6, here's Paul George, his three, good! Out to Paul for another three, good again! Here's Paul George again.
Let it
for
go,
three,
let it
good!
go.
And here's Paul George for an eighth.
Yes, sir.
Here's Paul George, a three again!
Who barely caught the ball. That was 11.
For Noah, they swing it. Here's George for the three. But Hanley collided with Paul. Another three.
That I really wanted to come back and improve player. I really put the work into it. I put the time into it. Coach B. Shaw came down and watched me work out.
Before they all pitched in here in the third. James rises to their feet. George rises. They were taking the ball, put up a practice shot there. Hopefully from the top. Hits the of 9 in this second half. George. Beautiful. Pacers trying to get to these finals. Tipper spinning this, twisting. Late pass to George. Just beats the clock. Five shots. Here's the lob, and George is able to finish. Beautifully done. 13 foul committed by Miami. Here's George. They lost him. Shot clock at 5. George. Here comes George. Got the step and stuffs. What a move! And counts on the foul.
On James, the Birdman is just a little bit late.
Getting a piece of it. Here's George with room. But he's done it from in close. Now George open for 3 out of 3. Here's Hibbert. Evelyn. West. David. LeBron up. Here's George for 3. Carried off on a stretcher, and then they're hitting. Goes at James. Rejected. That earlier in the series. Here's George. Hibbert. George open for 3. Yes. Defensive end. Got caught down to 4. West wide open. Bounce back by Indiana. George for 3. Career high with 28 points. Nice pass from George Stevenson.
You got 15 more shots. Yeah, that'd say 6 turnovers. You're gonna turn the basketball.
It's Doris Cole.
Just standing where guys are. The best play of the game. I don't know if we even have it, but he got.
Fouling out, being controlled by Roy Hibbert as he went off the floor. Points of 99.
his game. I think he's a very underrated player. I like Prigione's game defensively.
George driving past this man. Beautiful hang and score. Working around to an open George. Lets it fly.
Guess who is cheering tonight?
Here's George off balance with the ball screen. Here's George falling away. Hits another off balance.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
George with the up fake.
Uh-oh, he's back in the couch. You gotta be kidding. From the passes that were being made.
Makes it!
That counts. The three-point line, not letting him get dribble penetration.
They haven't been timid by any stretch of the imagination. They are coming.
I do love your point about the Indiana Pacers. You have driven home this point since last year. The Pacers, to me, are like the Seattle Seahawks of the NBA now.
Another steal, this time from George. And the pace looking. George catches a three. Bang! Extra pass, George is open. Hits a three.
George Wade trying to stay with him. George pulls up.
Puts it in.
James switching on Paul George.
Paul George from
Frank Vogel's trying to get a timeout.
a three. Bang!
Didn't get it recognized by the official.
In 21. The Pacers are still alive. A thriller in Indianapolis. Welcome back to Miami in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
He's already there, but he's climbing the charts. All-time great players.
Beautiful move to celebration about to begin. For the fourth consecutive year, the Miami Heat are heading up after this message.
Contest for the foul. Paul George ran into the stanchion. Paul George suffering a serious lower leg injury. And we're going to take a break and come back right after this.
George to re-enter.
Got his first from the goal, partner.
And it was vintage Paul.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. Paul George's fifth three. Here is George.
George looking for the contact.
Better make sure they're in this together over this final 15.
Paul George. A wide open three, and George with the steal. George for three, launches, got it. Biombo with good help defense, didn't matter, pick and roll.
So back-to-back possessions, they play him on the post. That time they put him in the pick and roll.
Is dating back a couple of playoff seasons. George from the baseline, got it.
In the back, coming out. He's getting great looks. I just wasn't being smart about my approach.
Paul George, a step back jumper, got it over Carroll.
At the half, or I beg your pardon, at the end of the first quarter, Toronto, that snap, a second field goal made. All the way in, a little spin by Joseph. In the fourth quarter, that was C.J. Hopkins. And now George, a little spin. Ellis all the way in with the left, no. And a Turner with the rebound. Lowry passes up the threes on the take. Oh, and it's blocked by Turner. Here's George. Now Solomon, buries a three. Monte Ellis. Lowry. Ellis trying to slide, make it. George, the catch. Dish. Solomon Hill.
Wow is the word, B.A. Give Toronto a lot of credit.
DeRozan. All right, Kevin, let's reset the lines for you. Solomon Hill on the floor for Indiana. Kick out. Powell. He's been so cool. Lowry drives. And gets the bucket. Key free throws. 2 on 3. Catch and shoot. It's George. Rainbow three doesn't go. Biombo with the board. It's over.
Lance Stevenson gets inside. Nice soft cut. Lance Stevenson, pocket four. James drives all the way to the rim. Rolls around. Stevenson sees an opening. Left-handed lays it in. Inside pass to Turner. Turner lays it up. Teague steps back, three-pointer, puts it in. 7 to shoot. James for 3. Rebounds, get it out of George's hands. 4 seconds to go. Miles puts up the jumper. Won't go. Get it out of George's hands. 4 seconds to go. Miles puts up the jumper. Won't go.
You know, to soften him up and try to get it back. I talked to CJ about it. Situations like that, I got to get the last shot.
In the second half, George from downtown out. Turner trying to guard LeBron for 3 in the lead. He's trying to get free. George for the tie. Missed everything.
Well, he followed up. And a demonstration of mutual respect for Paul George.
You talked to Kobe about coming to the Lakers?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Let's see if you're really going to turn it down. Or they can get as much as they can while they can.
If you want Paul George, I think you need to do it now. Getting the number 2 pick in the draft certainly makes a guy like Paul George available. And from what I'm hearing, he'd certainly love to be here.
They're gonna have a lot of faith in Russell Westbrook, but if this is just a one-year rental and Paul George decides to leave, then you're talking about Oklahoma City rebuilding and positioning themselves.
The game in his uniform, drove out of the arena in his stopped around.
In transition, Anthony for Westbrook for 3. Westbrook going to pull up at the three-point line. George, PG-13 all the way from Iguodala. Nearly beheaded him in the process. And a technical foul has been called. Away 3. The Thunder.
Westbrook drives. George for the tie. Westbrook. Strong. You have to go inside. Out the back. For the tie, Westbrook. Got Gobert up in the air. Didn't get the foul to be for Russell Westbrook.
That's a conversation they're having now, but Paul George wanted to commit there. He went in with ownership and management tonight.
The Thunder had a good year, but it wasn't like they're on the cusp.
Puts it on the floor, gets past 2 guys. Stuffs it on the 3.
Bird is 25 off the bench. George to step back.
Adam Westbrook cornered George for the lead.
On ball, they'll switch a little bit more, but you're right, Paul George.
George, the jumper. 6:45 remaining. George feeling it.
They only got off 6 field goal attempts.
Tapped out. Adams. George drives. He's fouled. George crosses. George flips the game. Westbrook tosses. George pump fake. 3 on the way. Yes.
George with 5. George drives over Gobert.
But Paul George is my MVP thus far. It's Paul George that's been putting on a show. It's Paul George that spent the month of January averaging nearly 40, okay?
And George is back at the free throw line with 34 on the board. All of those in the arc. So it's his series high. Kicks it. McCollum. Little teardrop. Here's George on McCollum. This is a long 2 for the tie. Damian Lillard on the take. Lillard, long-range 3. It's good! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
Everybody says it's a bad shot. But he made it. Let's go.
He's going to stay in Toronto. So when you heard that Kawhi Leonard was going to end up a Clipper, that wasn't too surprising when you consider the fact that you have the richest owner in sports.
Time left in this game.
The Pelicans. George tries to cut it down to 1 and does! That guy returning right there was brilliant.
33 points for those moments when he's out, when they like to go. Here's Paul George. They're getting him the ball early with Doncic on him. Little hesitation, gets himself free. No, his third 3. Paul George for 3. Paul George will pull. Boy, that one missed badly. Paul George this time goes to the basket. Layup won't go. Paul George, the corner 3. That won't go. To begin the 4th quarter. Paul George, 3-pointer won't go. George against Murray. Drives, double teamed. Up top to Green, throws it away. Kicks it up top to George. Just straight on 3. In and out. Looking to post up. Gets inside. He's double teamed. Has to throw it back out. Throws it away.
Number of second shots, though.
George, way off. It's the side of the backboard. Corner three, way off, short.
Well, Skip, it makes sense for Paul George because you get long-term financial security. Paul George in his last 5 elimination games, he's averaging 20 points, 37% field goal shooting. Game 7 against Denver, he had 10 points, 4 16. With Russ dropped 45, and he hit 5.
Rick Carlisle on this Mavericks team.
Leonard to George, George the finish. Leonard crossover twice, pull-up jumper, puts it in. Pull-up jumper, it's good. 5 to shoot, Leonard step back 3, bang! 6. Leonard step back 3, puts it in. He does it again. Paul George drives, lefty layup, missed it.
Settling offensively.
Here's Leonard on the drive and the finish. Man gets free. Kicks it out. Good ball movement. Morris a three-pointer. Puts it in. 9. Leonard gets inside. Back up top. Morris. Morris three-pointer. Puts it in. Terrence Mann corner 3. Leonard the rebound. Put back up and in. And the foul. Back up top to Jackson. Reggie Jackson for 3. Bang! This is over. The first round is over. The home team finally gets a win. The Clippers advance.
You have to tag playoff P. Now you got to live up to it because Kawhi Leonard is that dude that you can't replace his production. Over 27 points per game, over 7 rebounds. He's a 3-level dude. He can score at 3 levels and lead your team to the promised land called the Western Conference Finals and beyond. And Kawhi Leonard could be out for the rest of the playoffs.
This season, George, fade, money. After the Mitchell miss, George, season opening, finishes with the offhand. Bogdanovich, step back 3, splash for Paul George. It was epic. Beverly lines up an open look, got a 3. George is fouled, and he's got it.
Jackson to Beverly. Beverly tries a three-pointer. Beverly from downtown. Realizing what's happening. The game. Years, decade. It's official. The LA Clippers are going to the conference finals. Paul George makes his move behind the back. Pulls up jumper. It's good.
In the first 4 games.
George on the pull-up, nails a 3. 93% in the series. George connects again. Third quarter. George three-pointer, puts it in.
I'm saying it, Red is the most positive people. You know, he just keeps everything light.
Game 5.
25, began with 16 in the first. Now he drives and Jack has another offensive rebound, squirms away. 3, good! And he's 3, no good. Nance with another rebound. Here's a 3 for the tie. The Rooks corner. It's fouled. Now it's 3. And the Pelicans are going to win it. The Pelicans are going to the play.
1, 2, 3. He's going swinging. Powell, open look. Bullseye. Man, Clippers need it. They got it. Clippers have come storming back. Speaking of storm, Phoenix, 2-point lead for the Suns. Phoenix Suns advance to the second round.
Next Kawhi to join them sometime this series, guys.
George dumps it in. Zubac like that ball movement. Harden meets Doncic. His threes.
2-3 hours that you will get. That the only thing that will be over.
In the first. Harden. Harden looking to shake Hardaway. Harden step back is good. Puts the time out. Here's George. Started by Washington. And George.
A cool shot.
Here's George. Again. The clock run. His 3. Banks in.